Welcome to what is a working title at the moment. I've just gone with the Bardic Quest Talk Show, which is, really unoriginal. But if you have any better names, pop them in the comments, because that would be helpful. If you are new here, we are, collectively, Bardic Quest. We have an actual play here on YouTube. If you're not new here, then welcome to the talk show for the first time. So this show is less about actual play and more just us being D&D nerds and talking D&D news and all of that sort of stuff. We'll be doing other segments as well. We might get guests on. We might take a look at just things that we want to talk about related to D&D. We have a little bit, I would say. I was actually thinking about this the other day, guys. I think we've got actually a good panel, a good lineup between the three of us, because not only are we in an actual play together, not only are we all trained actors, which is good for the actual play side of things, not so much the D&D side of things, but also I realised we are all, to some degree, professionals in the gaming industry too. Yes. All three of us.
This is true.
Which only really occurred to me that it had just kind of fallen that way. As I was out on a stroll the other day, I was like, oh yeah, because I DM full-time, pro DM. Callum, you are part-time pro DM.
Indeed.
And Anina, you actually could you actually fully explain your role to me?
I'm a paid games demonstrator.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to misspeak.
And actually, someone did just ask me literally 2 days ago, will you teach me to play D&D? So I will be teaching them. And that's something I've been umming and ahhing about, is actually doing you want to start this hobby, let's start from absolute scratch. Mm-hmm. No embarrassment. Sort of the pre-prep before you go onto a table. So that's something I've been wanting to offer. So I think I'll be doing that too. They were like, I have the books and I'm scared and I don't want to join the table knowing nothing. So it's like crash course for dummies.
Yeah, I mean the D&D books are tomes, and they are quite intimidating, I think, aren't they? If you're just starting out. But yeah, so it just, as I say, it just occurred to me the other day that we have a little bit of pedigree here, to some degree or another. I mean, we're not all game designers, deep in the trenches.
I've written for a game of sorts.
Okay. Maybe I take that back then. But yeah, we are all involved in the gaming industry as professionals on some level.
Yeah.
As well as, obviously, I've been playing... this was the other thing that occurred to me. I feel like we've got a good perspective across the board here as well. Because I've been DMing since 3rd edition. So 20 plus years. And I obviously DM full-time now, so I'm running 6 or 7 games a week. Callum, you've come in... How long have you been playing D&D now?
So I started as a DM because someone had to be. It was one of those situations. It was 2 years before I got to play. I put my that was in 2014. So that was as 5e had just come out. I didn't even know 5th edition had just come out. For me, that was just Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
How was the first time you got to play, taking crack?
Well, so I was nervous because there were a fair few. I think there were six players going into it, and we did a pre-written one shot that I found on the internet, and then that immediately went off the rails, and I had to start making stuff up, and that's when it turned into crack. That's when it turned into crack. When the best stuff was the stuff that we made up. Yeah.
And then Anina, you're predominantly a player. You've just started getting onto the DM track.
Because as is the pattern of my life, when I say I'm never going to do something, that I am ensuring I'm going to do that thing. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I said for years is I'm never going to DM. Ha 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 ha. Here we are. again, yeah.
Right.
So I've just started DMing, and but I did start with a different system to Dungeons and Dragons because I do love my, I love my indies. I love my other, I love other systems as well.
Sure.
I started at a similar time to you. I was 15, and well, yes. So 3.5, 3.5.
Yeah.
But again, the very first TTRPG I played was actually H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That was the very first session. Was H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I died within 10 minutes, because my party abandoned me.
Oh well, that's nice.
Not that I'm salty about that. 20 plus years later.
But I think I think between us we've got a pretty good perspective. I think we've got the predominantly player perspective in you and Ina. We've got the post Hasbro perspective in you, Callum, and the bit long in the tooth DM perspective from me.
The grey beard.
the war veteran.
The war. I wouldn't quite go war veteran. I don't know if I've got quite qualified for that. But the game has changed a lot in the time I've been playing. So so I wouldn't necessarily call myself a grognard, but I sometimes might come up against that identity crisis on occasion. All right, so we are here, of course, to talk D&D news today, because a few things dropped in the last week. So we're going to take a look. I think we'll start with what dropped yesterday, which was the D&D Beyond product roadmap, or the third-party content product roadmap, if I can bring it up on my screen. Here we are. So, obviously, in the last 12 months... maybe a little bit longer now, actually. D&D Beyond have really been leaning into the third-party content stuff. But everything's kind of been dropped of late, or since they started doing that, of just like, out of nowhere, here's the thing, enjoy. Which actually, I think, and seemingly from this post that I've got up on my screen, obviously you two can't see it, but I've linked you to it, and I'll put a link in the description too once we finish going live for anybody watching later. But they're talking about having a lot of feedback about these kind of coming out of nowhere, which is great for exciting people, but not great if your D&D budget is a little bit limited and you haven't set aside money for some of these releases. So they have now put together what is their first quarter of 2026 roadmap, which actually there is a lot here for just Q1. So we've got now this one I'm quite excited about. This is coming out at the end of the month, which is Exploring Eberron, which is basically an expansion from Keith Baker, the creator of Eberron, which came out as part during the 3rd edition era. Basically just expanding upon some of the lore and creating some new character options for Eberron. Now, I'm not an Eberron player, I will admit. I've never really ran an Eberron game other than when some plane hopping happens and whatnot and people end up in Eberron. But I've never run a specifically Eberron campaign. But, you know, I am a big fan of source books that expand on the lore and things, which actually...
Big lore dump.
Big lore dumps, yeah. Which has been one of my problems a little bit with the way they've published 5th edition thus far, is there's a lack of those sorts of books. But I can understand why, because I don't imagine they sell as well, perhaps, as others. But... so they started, doing publishing of like, here's the adventure and here are the character options in it, or here's a character options book. And very rarely, in fact, the only one I think they did... Oh, no, that's not fair, actually. No, they did quite a few, but they were Magic the Gathering ones. And then you had, basically the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide and the Eberron book. The Eberron book is very good, the official one. But the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide was a bit naff. But I'm very, very excited, just as somebody who likes lore books, to have access to more stuff coming from Keith Baker as well. Either of you guys played much Eberron?
No, I've had elements of Eberron come into games with things like Warforged and stuff like that being used in homebrew campaigns, but I've not done a campaign set within it myself.
How about you?
And we've had Warforged used definitely in one of our longer term campaigns. A lot of the people I play socially with, not through Bardic Quest.
Sure.
We played basically Lost Minds, and then everyone wanted to add homebrew in, and I think every single person has wanted to add homebrew. So it hasn't been like, let's play this module. And I don't know. I feel like that's a very natural progression to be like,
sure.
I'm really enjoying this, but I want to add my own
Yeah.
flavor. I don't know how many DMs, whether, casual hobby or professional, like, don't want to add their own flavor.
No, I like vanilla is my favorite flavor.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna say on this railroad track, and it's, oh no, I can't go there because you come up with that weird video game thing where it's like invisible wall. No, you can't go left of the map.
Yeah. I think I tend to find if I'm running a published adventure, the first time I run it is fairly limited. I try not to be too sandboxy, just so that because I don't like to pick apart something if I've not run it, if that makes sense. But once I've run it the first time, I'm like, okay, gloves are off now. Let's
crowbar comes out.
Yeah, but then I do have the benefit of running so many games, so I know that I'm probably going to run something a second time. Yeah. So I'm probably unique. Well, not unique, but a rarity in that regard. But yeah, Eberron's fun, I think, from what I've seen of it.
Warforged is fun, but I'm not sure if it's too OP in a way, but it is it's a very fun concept to be like.
It's very much aside from the other races and stuff like that, and those species. I think that's one of the things for the new with this book. Even if you are someone that isn't into running campaigns in Eberron, the fact that it's going to be introducing new species, new feats, new subclasses. It looks like there's more stuff for the Artificer, which has just come out. So that's going to make it something worth having a look at least.
And I mean, really, this is probably the closest that you're going to get to an official, unofficial Eberron book, because it's not a WotC book, but it's Keith Baker, and it's his world, so it's the next best thing, really. But no, I do like Eberron, so it's got me curious. Any opportunity for some lore dumps, and some of his DM's Guild books are really nice.
I like mythology anyway, so I'm like, I'd happily read fake or real.
Right.
And just for my own enjoyment, and then be like, ooh, if I made one, I'd add this.
Yeah, that's why I like those sorts of books as well. Is that's the stuff that makes my imagination go wild. Yeah. I don't get a huge amount of inspiration from reading room to room descriptions of a dungeon. But you give me a lore dump, and some hooks, and I'm like there. So that's the first one coming out. Then we've got in early February the Pugilist class from the DM's Guild, which I don't know much about the Pugilist class. I've got to say. I wonder actually if this link sends me to it.
That I don't know. That just sounds like. If Saga,
I'm not a boxer.
Fighter, they'd be a pugilist.
Chris Eubank. I'm not a boxer. I'm a pugilist.
I mean, it's I'm just having a look. If you're watching
a pugilist
on the actual stream itself, I'm having a look at DM's Guild at the moment. That's up on the screen, and that's it's got a pretty much 4.8 out of 5 stars for 352 ratings, so it's a popular one. And I am hearing a lot of well, social media is pretty happy Let's put it that way. That this is coming.
This is where you can live out your wish fulfillment of if I had loads of muscle. If I could punch people without consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Brawlers, well, as you say, sort of pit fighter types. It's kind of a distinct fighter, somewhere between a fighter and a barbarian, like somewhere that sits in the middle, I think, isn't it? And well, I suppose also a little bit of monk in there too.
Yeah, I was thinking, unsophisticated monk, a monk without.
My immediate thought was how it is going to be multi-classed. Are there going to be some absurd monk pugilist builds, or will they essentially do the same thing and not really stack?
That's what I was thinking. Is it just like it's too similar to monk? So,
my punches are even punchier.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all saying this from a point of ignorance. Just for the audience.
It is interesting. It is interesting that it does seem it introduces the concept of fight clubs as well. Which as a world medieval-esque kind of world makes sense that people would go down to watch. Just to watch just people leathering each other. An extra way to make a bit of money in town. That sort of thing. Going. Fun little mini games. I quite like anything that adds to the life of a town and the locations you go to. I think is really good.
Yeah, I agree. Then in late February, we've got Faster Purple Worm. Everybody Dies Volume 1 from Beadle and Grimm. Now, Beadle and Grimm, I love their stuff. Can never afford to buy any of their stuff, but I love their stuff. And this is going to be a collection of level 1 one-shots. The kind of concept of Faster Purple Worm, Everybody Dies is kind of clues in the title. The idea is how long can you survive in these one-shots, which is a lot of fun. I actually think I always have mixed feelings about anthology books, but I am really starting to come around to the one-shot thing, partly because I'm running so many full-time campaigns now having some one-shots is a nice sort of palate cleanser. But certainly one like this, where the aim of the game is simply don't die. Like, you're going to, how long can you last? It kind of creates a great little party mode for D&D. For like, hey, we need some entertainment for the night. Just here's some characters, throw them together, and then just kind of see what happens. And they are designed to be minimal prep as well from Beadle.
I think they're great for people who've never played.
Yeah,
it's a really great way, low threshold to join in, and they are. Because again, even it's a big commitment to be like, right, we shall do this entire module.
Right.
Completely. And it's sometimes fun just to take your character from another campaign and do these. I've done battle royales on other people's channels as Saga, and one that was like, who can last the longest, and it was like mazes and puzzles. That was a lot of fun.
I think things like that, where it is just kind of battle royale, how long can you survive? It makes it. The other thing that's genius about it is it really focuses in on, like, takes all the complexity out of it and just live as long as you can. That's your only objective. Survive for as long as you possibly can. Which means that then it doesn't get as you say. And you're not then having to worry about the overarching plot and things like that. It's just this is the game at its base level, and go for it. I've not seen. I know that they had a streaming show as well, didn't they, on the ill-fated D&D Adventures TV channel, which I never watched any of. But Beadle and Grimm stuff generally good. I like. So, have either of you actually seen Faster Purple Worm? Everybody Dies.
I've seen a bit of an actual play where they were going through one of them, and it was chaos. But I've not actually read the source materials.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Then in early March, we've got Helena's Guide to Monster Hunting Part 2 for 2014, rather. I mean, we've talked before, the three of us, about monster hunting and all of that sort of stuff. This was a popular one. The Part 1 was. I think it did very well on D&D Beyond when they released it last year. God, I think it was last year. It must have been. Yeah, so... Again, not one that's really popped up too much on my radar because I've got my own kind of system that I use for monster hunting and things like that. But it's the original original book is like 600 pages long, which I guess is why they've split it into two parts. The idea being about tracking, harvesting, and crafting from monsters. I would like to take a proper look at it, actually, because, as I say, I've got my own little system that I use, but I mean, a 600-page tome.
Is it homebrew, your system? Is it like...
yeah,
not,
it's DM's
apart from what
guild
we're doing
based.
now in a campaign 2, we've not really done monster hunting on Bardic Quest.
No, it's what I use is DM's guild based. It's the Monster Loot books. Because the thing is, and I think again, given that it's a 600-page volume, it gives me confidence. But the thing is with things like that is, if you're going to give me a system like that, I want a list of everything for all the monsters.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it feels like an incomplete system to me. Because I don't want to be in a position where I've put a monster in front of them. The players, and then suddenly I'm like, oh yes, I've got this. Oh no, I don't have that. Oh shit!
Or
now I have to make something up on the spot. Kind of.
You at least want a sort of an index of parts that you might be able to yourself go. Right. You know, a system in which you can say, okay, here's a monster that isn't represented, but here are some items that I can think that could be sourced from it.
Exactly. So the monster loot books, they've got like the monster manual done for 2014 at least, and they used to release one for every adventure that came out as well. So it's pretty comprehensive. So I've not looked anywhere else because I'm like, I've got everything that I need. But this is very popular. I know that everybody was very excited when the first part came out. And again, with it being 600 pages, that does make me quite confident that they've covered most things. So I might have to look into that. But yes, part 2 is coming for early March if you got part 1. But we've talked monster hunting before, I think, on Insight Check as well, haven't we? But I think it's I don't know about you guys, but I think it's almost a necessary part of the game, particularly where in like 5th edition, it's like, yeah, you can't really loot the stuff off the monsters. The stuff because the monsters versions of things are more powerful than actually the player characters things were. They work on different rules. Yeah. And if you gave them the weapon that the monsters have, you'd break your game instantly. Because sometimes the mundane weapons of monsters are better than magic weapons for players sometimes.
I suppose it's you kill a dragon in its lair. Oh, hoard of gold. You kill a dragon out in the wild. He ain't got pockets.
No.
Yeah, right. Right.
You want to get something off. You want to get something off him.
Exactly.
Not that weird thing when you kill something in a, I don't know, not Skyrim, but one of those.
Yeah, you kill a wolf in Warcraft, and it's somehow
why does it have a gold ring on it? Yeah, that's some sort of wild creature. It's like saber-toothed tiger. Oh yes, it has this gold ring. These leather boots, and you're like, why? And it's one joke. BioShock is one of my favorite games ever, one of my favorite franchises. But what me and my husband always used to joke about is the fact of like, oh great, corpse food. Would you like some corpse banana? I shall eat this corpse banana for some extra health.
Exactly.
You know
so yeah, I mean, harvesting monsters for bits, I think, is always good. And you hear I had one campaign where somebody got petrified, and then had to go and find a basilisk to get the basilisk gullet, so that they could make their potion to unpetrify. Like that sort of stuff, I think is peak D&D for me. So
I think it's an integral part of the fantasy genre is to be like the magical creature that you get, some component of that creature, whether it's blood or a fang or a feather. Combine it in a specific way to make this uber special item. I think, it's literally, if you were to list essential parts of fantasy, surely it's that. Because that's more interesting than I go to a shop. Oh, they happen to have everything that's in the book.
Right.
You have enough money,
Yeah, exactly. So yes, and then we've got late March, and then we will get into the subclasses for the Unearthed Arcana, because I think some people are hopping in to see us talk about that, and then seeing us talk about these D&D Beyond stuff. So late March, we've got Griffin's Saddleback Book 1, which for some reason they launched Book 2 first on D&D Beyond rather than Book 1. I think Book 2 was just the recent one, maybe. I don't know. But the Griffin's Saddleback stuff, I've actually been following them on social media for years. I love their stuff because the artwork that they use, I don't know if they use the same artist, but all of their items, the artwork is of the same style that's in like the core rules, so it like doesn't feel like an add-on,
it's
like
not
a third
jarring.
thing. I really, really love that sort of attention to detail. I'm a big fan of. And some of the magic items are really nice. Some really smart, clever ones, some inventive ones. So generally very good on the Griffin Saddlebag. I'm very, very happy, personally, because it's nice also to be able to throw out some magic items, because it's a magic items book, if you're not familiar. But it's nice to throw out some unexpected magic items sometimes to catch people off guard. Although the more popular Griffin's Saddlebag becomes, the less likely you are to catch people off guard, I suppose. But, but yes, no, a big fan of their stuff. Either of you seen the Griffin's Saddlebag?
I've not. No, I love. I mean, you know me. I love making and reading magic items for stuff. I think they're wonderful.
Yeah, yes. I'm also spoiled by. Well, my husband loves making magic items. I'll use his, and some of them are really funny as well. I love his. He came up with, instead of the rug of smothering, there's a rug of mothering.
Love that.
and it's just wonderfully annoying encounter. And I was like, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant, babe. He loves a pun. And again, a lot of homebrew items, but I was just looking at Griffin's Saddlebag, and I was like, no, don't give me more things I want to buy. Please don't do this to me.
Because, I mean, it's 2 books of, I think they're about 200 pages, each of them, full of magic items. And I love myself a magic items book, because there's just so many things that you want to then play with. But yes, so that's the news on the 2026 D&D Beyond third-party content releases. I wanted to touch base on that because that was pretty much breaking as of yesterday.
Just before we move on, I had a little. I educated myself slightly on the Pugilist.
Oh yes.
Having a look at it, and I would say, I mean, there may be some multi-class element there, but I think for the most part, it is a flat alternative to the monk in terms of it is a bit of a tankier. More strength and constitution based rather than dexterity. There's 2 subclasses, one that gets better at counter punching and punching, and one that is essentially, if you want to cosplay WWE
yes,
where you can pin, you can grapple as a opportunity attack and things like that. Really, really useful stuff. But a lot of it is
knuckle shuffle.
A lot of it is if you want to be that kind of Steve Rogers, I can go all day kind of. I can do this all day kind of guy. It looks very. It's something I will be looking at. I think that will be quite popular when it comes out.
Is it different enough from monk or?
Yeah, I would.
Or fighter.
I would say it's different enough from monk in the way that barbarian is different enough from fighter.
Got you. Oh, that's good.
If you see what I mean, there are. It does feel there are certain bits that feel reflavored, and there are certain bits that you go, "Oh, that's very monkey." But yeah, I think especially if you get people, I think some people get turned off a little bit by the monk, which they have addressed in the new version of the monk.
Epic.
I think some people, the aesthetic, the aesthetic of the monk in the 2014, I think, stood out a little bit because it has they very leaned into the sort of the Far East element of things with key and all of that. And I know they've sort of addressed that with the newer monks to give it a broader appeal. This feels very much like if you wanting to go down that. No, I'm not a monk. I haven't got this thing. I just like hitting things with my fists.
You have the sort of discipline, or the sort of discipline that comes with martial arts.
I can see having this class will make anything that happens in the tavern become potentially
right. Yeah. And I think that's why it might be a popular one. It'll be fun. Tavern brawls interesting.
I think it does provide. I think what it does do is it does provide the build that people were often looking for when they're taking the underwhelming Glapper class. In the Glapper,
they did playtest a brawler, I think it was called, subclass for D&D 2024, but it didn't make it into the final cut.
Yeah.
For various reasons. I think this fills that gap, which is nice. Just before we do move on to the Unearthed Arcana stuff, which is what people are tuning in for us to talk about, just a question, because obviously this is our first episode of this particular show. What are people's thoughts about third-party content on D&D Beyond?
I think it's wonderful. I think it's it took them all of the controversy to realise that that's probably the best way to actually start moving forwards, rather than being like, we own you.
Yes.
Because it's always, D&D has always been third-party content. Homebrew is third-party content. You know, this is just basically going, hey, if your homebrew is good enough to sell, get it on here.
Right.
You know,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
I think you don't want to be a company that's like looming over people going, no, you're playing it wrong, when it's a game of imagination. It's like, you have to be creative, but not like that.
And I think it kind of speaks to... Sorry, go on.
I love third-party content, homebrew, because that's the most... It's the essence of play and the most fun. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And that's why people want to do it. And people are creative without realizing they're creative.
And I think the problem with, and I think this is true of any creative endeavor, is the problem is if you try and take something that is creative that was traditionally analog and you put it into a digital space, a digital space is inherently restrictive. Because you can only use it's yes or it's no ultimately when you boil it down when you get into a digital space. And I think what was happening in the hobby was people were being very limited by D&D Beyond. And if it wasn't on D&D Beyond, because so many people were playing on D&D Beyond, it was like, well, I don't want to spend all the time coding it in and writing it in. And then you have copyright issues as well, because the license on D&D Beyond says that if you put any homebrew stuff in, then Wizards of the Coast has the license to it. But if you're coding in manually stuff that's from third party, you don't have the license to put it up there, but you've given the license to Wizards, and it's all very, very messy. So it was limiting legally and limiting actually in terms of what people were playing at the table. So the more that they add this stuff, I think the better. And it seems to me to be a win-win for everyone. Wizards of the Coast get their cut. People are going on to D&D Beyond, subscribing, they're getting their money that way, and apparently, the word on the street is that the deals that they're offering these third parties to be on D&D Beyond are very good indeed. Everybody's very happy.
I've got a slight. I think it's a good thing, but a slight concern for indie publishers.
Yeah,
see what I mean? Because there are some fantastic indie publishers that are still like. I went to Muppet Meet. They're very popular books or supplements, and they're still there. We had their founders doing talks. They're still just the same as we are, awkward nerds who somehow found themselves, oh, I guess I own a company now. Woo.
Yeah.
And they've got 2 to 8 people working for them. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, but to be honest, I think the third-party experiment for D&D Beyond is going so well. I mean, this is all stuff that we've talked about that's coming out in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, they're ramping up the third-party content stuff, and I think if the publishers, the indie publishers, what they're doing for D&D is popular enough, I think D&D, I think Wizards of the Coast are going to come knocking. And I know that they're making deals or trying to make deals with a lot of people at the moment.
Yeah.
So the future is bright. I mean, do I want it all centralized onto D&D Beyond? No. But do I want it available on D&D Beyond?
Yes.
I think that's the big difference.
Yeah. And it's not an exclusive deal. So nobody's being restricted either.
That's really good. That's what would worry me if it's like takes away. Don't want to take what's the word?
Agency.
Ownership rights from people who've made it. See what I mean?
Yeah,
Creative control. Creative control. That was the word I was looking for.
Exactly. Anyhow, we're nearly 40 minutes in and we haven't actually talked about the thing that I put on the thumbnail yet. It's a learning experience.
Don't point out the cracks in the wall.
It's fine. I don't mind. We're new to this live streaming malarkey. So let's take a look at the new Unearthed Arcana, which dropped last week. So we're a little late to the party here. But these are Mystic Subclasses. There's 4 that they've released. There is
spellcasters. Yeah.
Yes, right. So there is the Warrior of the Mystic Arts Monk subclass, the Oath of the Spell Guard Paladin subclass, the Magic Stealer Rogue subclass, and the Vestige Patron Warlock subclass. Now, I don't think we're going to have time to get through all of these. So we'll go as long as we can, and we'll pick up the rest next week. But we'll start, I think, with as we've been talking about monks a little bit already today. Let's start at the beginning, which is always a good place to start, with the Warrior of the Mystic Arts Monk. So this is the magic monk, basically. They wield magic to supplement their martial skill, harnessing their supernatural focus to enhance their magical and physical abilities. So this is going to touch a bit close to your heart, I think, Nina, as our resident monk.
I'm literally like, can I please? Can I please? And it doesn't suit our campaign at all.
It doesn't suit our campaign at all, which is
I'm
low
like,
magic.
You're telling me I can be Doctor Strange? Basically.
I mean, that is basically what it is, isn't it?
Basically Doctor Strange. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's so cool. This is so cool.
It's pretty cool. So basically, when you take the Warrior of Mystic Arts Monk subclass, you get access at level 3 to spellcasting. Yay! Specifically from the Sorcerer spell list. So they're like a sorcerer. I'm going to say this now at the top. This feels like a official monk sorcerer multiclass.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting as well.
Which I like, because I have my beef with multiclassing.
Well, I've never actually multiclassed, and I feel like I should.
Just to piss me off?
You're just going to keep punishing me in like campaign 3 if I multiclass.
No, my problem with multiclassing. Yeah, on my soapbox. My problem with multiclassing is there is very little that you can't achieve narratively through feats.
True,
that multiclassing is claimed to be for. So multiclassing, as far as I can see, is a purely mathematical equation.
Oh, it can definitely be used for min-maxing for sure.
That's all it's for, as far as I'm concerned.
Comboing, yeah.
Yeah, it's all it's for.
I am whatever is the opposite of a min-maxer, that's me.
And I'm the same too.
Even if you look at my bloody dice rolls.
Yeah.
So you could probably give me the best feat in the game and I would still somehow, hilariously.
And this is what we call a min-minner.
Yes, that's me. I am here purely for your entertainment. I am a statistical anomaly. That's what I am. It's like...
You know how I mentioned coming up against the grognard thing every now and then. Multiclassing is one of those things that I'm a proper grognard about. Because again, I just think you can achieve anything you want narratively. You can achieve through feats.
Yeah.
By taking like a magic initiate or anything like that, or even subclasses. Funnily enough, I don't think you need to multiclass to do things. So I like the fact that if this is the avenue they're going down with subclasses of like, what happens if we combine this class with this class? What do we get? Then I am here for it. Because then it really eliminates the need.
There's a touch of Eldritch Knight about it, isn't there, in terms of that?
Yeah. So you get 2 cantrips from the Sorcerer spell list, and every time you gain a level, you replace one cantrip with another. The only thing is, and this is where multiclassing would obviously... Well, I suppose, would it be better because you have to take a level each time? I don't know. But basically, you don't get another cantrip until you hit level 10. Which obviously they're tying those, I think, as far as I can see, to when you get various subclass features and things like that, I guess. Actually, no, not quite. Oh, interesting. Then you also get spell slots, so basically they become a half caster, as some people call them, where you got a number of spell slots. You start with 2 first level spell slots, and you can prepare 3 spells. Let me see, what does it say about preparing spells? So you choose 3 level 1 spells from the Sorcerer's spell list. And the number of spells on your list increases as you gain levels. Whenever that number increases, choose additional spells from the Sorcerer spell list until the number of spells matches your maximum. And then every time you gain a monk level, you can replace one of your spells on your list with another Sorcerer spell. And this is wisdom-based spellcasting. So it's wisdom sorcerer casting, which I
that makes sense if it is it's a mystic warrior, it's a martial artist. You would assume it's wisdom.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like that. I don't know if there's much to say other than monks.
I want to play it. My ranking is yes, I want to play it.
Just on having a monk with sorcerer spells. That's just what you get at level 3. We haven't even
basically they had me hooked with the name of the subclass.
Right.
War of the Mystic Arts, yes.
Yes.
Like, anything else is
I'm in.
Bonus.
Count me in.
It feels like they've done a bit of balancing on the spell slots per spell level. Because I don't think I can think of, even with the demicasters, a class that has magic where they get 2nd level spell slots as late as 7th level. I think Rangers get it at 5. I think Paladins also get it at 5.
I will consult the Book of Hands.
Yeah, that's it must be. There must be a. Let's what.
Also, seems like there's quite a high focus point cost just to recover any spells.
Well, you are adding. If you are adding, you're right. It is still a monk.
Rangers
base.
Get them at 5. You're right. Rangers get them at 5.
But they've not made it like Oh yeah, just my bank of points.
Perhaps a level 5 monk with level 2 sorcerer spells might be a little bit too spicy.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they've simply just done it because this is a subclass that's giving you spellcasting rather than your actual class giving you spellcasting.
And your subclass should also always be the thing that you can do as a little.
It's a little bit of extra flair, isn't it?
Yeah.
As opposed to the main thing.
So maybe it's that. Yeah, I didn't want them to become a full-on blaster.
Yeah.
I suppose also, if at level 5, monks are getting extra attack, aren't they?
Yeah, true.
That's true. You suddenly you can't be getting everything.
I mean, and then you tie that together with Warcaster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so at level 6 then, I think you were just touching on this, Anina. Mystic Focus.
Yeah, I got excited.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. That's what we're here for. So you can convert spell slots into focus points, and you can also convert focus points into spell slots. Which kind of feels like, again, very sorcerer adjacent with like your meta magic and being able to swap them out and things like that. It's a bonus action to convert focus points to spell slots. No action to turn a spell slot into a focus point.
I like that because it narratively would make sense because say focus point is something, a physical trick, a high kick for as an example.
Yeah.
That is for a trained martial artist that would be easier narratively than the magic. So I think that's I like that it goes both ways. So it's not just like focus points can also be used for this and then that's it. And I think can have some really interesting moments. Say you're in a big battle and you're like, no, actually I need another focus point because I need, to punch in this way. Magic doesn't work.
I'm of two minds about the no action for the spell slot versus bonus action for the focus point or the other way around. Not because I think it makes narrative sense. It really does. And also, oh no, I've got that the wrong way around. But it makes it makes narrative sense how they've done it.
Yes.
My worry is the monk class is already exceptionally complex. I would say it's one of the harder classes to get a grasp of. Because there's so many interactions of action economy, and you can do this if you spend this action type on this, but you can't do it if you spend your focus point on this action. It's just so many interactions going on. I worry that this is another layer of complexity rather than just saying swap them around for a bonus action.
I suppose on the other hand, though, is that the monk already being complex means that the people taking on that class are willing to take on that complexity,
exactly.
and it allows if someone wants a crunchier class and doesn't want to have to go over to Pathfinder to find it, they can.
Yeah,
I think it would be unbalanced for it to be the same. Either way the same, because one is magic at the end of the day. See what I mean? Magic's going to have like a special, it's going to hit harder in certain ways than a punch to the face. It always will. It's going to have some extra ability, and it is harder. So I don't think it should ever be like direct either way. I think it does need to be the magic costs
to focus enough to manifest magic should require a little bit more.
I think they've done the right thing in that way.
I like that it's only a bonus action though. That's quite a cool thing of the visual of going and then blasting.
If it's an entire action that would never be used.
It would only be used outside of combat.
Yeah, exactly. And then people would be like, what's the point of being a mystic warrior?
And I suppose because you're getting focus points at short rests and things.
And the focus point cost is high still to do spells, get spell slots.
Yes. That is true also.
So it's not like it's like, let me just, take a deep exhale and, I have summoned the force of nature. I don't know.
Yeah.
Insert appropriate metaphor.
Also remember the level 2 monks now can regain all expended focus points when they roll initiative. So you've got that as well. You have it costs you a bonus action to get your spell slots back, but that's quite a lot of spell slots you can start getting back more regularly. So it does. You're in a position where if you've burnt all of your spell slots, you can get them back on a fight, in the next fight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's quite cool. I like that.
I do.
Because how many of us have got to the point where we're just like, oh, I guess I'm on cantrips for the rest of the day.
Yeah. That's very cool. It is very cool.
And then you won't play this game of like, no, I have to save it.
Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah. So also at level 6 you get a fighting style as well, a mystic fighting style. So when you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one of the attacks with casting one of your cantrips that has a casting time of an action. How cool is that? Just like thumping somebody and then firebolt. Like, that's so cool. That is so cool.
That is, yeah.
Or just like punching one person, then turning and blasting someone else. You know, that's.
That does feel very, very Avengers, doesn't it?
Very, yeah.
Which, you know, I actually, for a monk, I think is cool. I don't mind. Sorcerers are D&D superheroes anyway. Monks are basically D&D superheroes. So the marriage of the two, just works very, very well, I think. I don't think I've got anything more to say on that, other than that. Just very cool.
Yeah. So far, big thumbs up.
Anina's a fan.
Unsurprising. Well, surprising, exactly no one.
Unless you got anything, Callum, on that?
No, I was just looking at the sorcerer's cantrip list and looking at the ones. You know, you've obviously got obvious ones like firebolt and things like that. I really like the idea of punching someone in the face and then trying to cast friends.
I love that. Yeah. There's a build in there.
You won't remember this.
Oh no! Right, is there a combination there? Oh, there is.
Oh no! What have you found?
Mind Sliver.
Oh.
Being able to combine that with your own punches and stuff as well. Just
nice.
there's a lot for fun stuff in there. Because monks have stuff that make you take saving throws. So being able to punch someone, cast Mind Sliver on them, and then doing like a quivering palm or something on them.
Well, you can do. It doesn't have to be in any particular order. So you can do your Mind Sliver first, and then do a stunning strike.
Grim. Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming. Who'd have thought strapping magic onto an
already potent monk?
God. Yeah, that's gonna be some super stuff.
Yeah, at level 6 stuff. You can do that. Fuck me, that's mad.
So this is basically what
canon-wise,
what Illyria is aiming for. This is the ultimate enlightenment. Is this class?
It has become very clear to me, looking at recent Wizards of the Coast products post the core rulebooks. I don't think they really give a shit about power bloat. No. I think they are just like go for it.
DMs have the flexibility within themselves to counter, to start countering stuff if they need to.
Right. So at level 11, Centered Focus. When you expend a focus point to use Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, or Step of the Wind, you have advantage on any saving throw you make to maintain concentration until the start of your next turn.
Oh wow! Look, I would actually have a chance not to fuck up.
I mean, basically, this is unless you're not running a monk as a monk. Basically, this is guaranteed advantage on the saving throw, provided you spend a focus point. Because all of those things are things that almost every monk is going to use at some point in a turn, if they've got the focus points to do it.
Oh yeah, flurry of blows.
Yeah. And you have the metabolism thing anyway, don't you? So that gives you some focus points back at the start of initiative as well, doesn't it? Or am I confusing things? Uncanny metabolism.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Uncanny metabolism, or is that just health? When you roll initiative, you can regain all expended focus points. When you do so, roll your martial arts die and regain a number of hit points equal to the monk level. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So once a day, you can give yourself focus points back as well. That's from level 2 onwards. So yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, other than in rare circumstances, you're going to be having advantage on concentration checks. It's pretty cool.
That's good.
And then finally, level 17, improved Mystic Fighting Style. So this is an improvement on the other one. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace 2 of the attacks with the casting of one of your level 1 or 2 sorcerer spells that has a casting time of an action.
No, so you sacrifice 2 attacks, but you get to make a
Friggin' hell.
Super Saiyan attack.
This is super fast wizard. Super fast sorcerer. Wow. I mean, that's level 17 though, so that's not too complex.
Exactly.
yeah. At that point, you should be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty fair. Okay. Any thoughts overall here? Well, I think we know what you're thinking, Anina.
Yeah, I need to even say anything.
It does. I think that it does a couple of things. I think there's a lot of the synergy's really nice between it. I think they've managed to blend a martial, because we all like a martial caster. That's a nice. It's a nice thing to be able to play where you get a little bit of everything. I can imagine this is. If you're able to track all of the stuff and you're the sort of person that likes to go through spell lists and stuff and work out what are going to be my good combos and stuff. Do I take Blade Ward on here so that I can punch someone but then be defensive as well? Do I? I think it's going to be fun. I think you might see this quite a lot in small parties where people have to sort of multi-role, even solo play. I'd happily walk through as this character on a solo play.
yeah, I think it'd be pretty good for a solo play, actually. Yeah. I think thematically it works really, really well. I like the feel of it.
You will feel like a hero.
You certainly will.
You will feel like a superhero.
Any additional thoughts for yourself, Anina? I know obviously you love it.
I mean, yeah, I guess part of me is like, is it? I'm trying to figure out if it's too OP, but again, I mean, I even think rogues are by standard OP, so I guess that's not too much of a worry. And again, how much fun? You're Doctor Strange, basically.
You are,
which, out of one of my favorite characters in the Avengers universe, just based on what they can do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just such a.
It does feel
interesting
like a
concept
gap in the fantasy character thing that needed filling. To be fair.
Yeah, because it is like, I understand you need a wizard who's made of paper. Because again, wizards, like in our homebrew campaign, it's like the amount of damage. The wizard is always the person who deals the most damage. Always. Yes, they can't have a AC that's too high or 1,000,000 hit points. I get that.
Right. Yeah.
So it is nice to, I guess, play a character that has magic that's also not like, don't touch me.
I can see with your dislike of multiclassing, I can see this falling the way of some where once you get to level 6, you might dip out into something else because you've got all of the best. You've got all of the best stuff like that. If you started combining this with a straight sorcerer, or another caster where you're getting more spells available, then you get a level 12. You get a level 12 character that's level 6 in this and level 6 in sorcerer. You could have some horrendous stuff, and then you've got subtle spell coming in. You've got all this could be a very, very powerful, and even maybe less annoyingly for you. If someone were to multiclass this with something like a sorcerer, thematically it's kind of there. There are narrative ways that you can. You're not having to suddenly force into.
That's true.
It's
not like when the fighter gets to level 6 and starts reading, and you'd be like,
I mean, what always made me laugh about Saga when I got like an extra maneuver, and it's like, oh look, she discovered stretching and can now do a lunging attack. That is always really funny. It's like, oh, I should step and whack someone.
This Pilates is really paying off.
Yeah, you know. I was getting so stiff. That's always going to be there. That's always going to be there with when you level up. There's always going to be like funny bits as long as you don't, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be.
No, I like it. Yeah, I am concerned with what you've just said about the multiclassing though, because the combos could be. But
I guess the argument against characters multiclassing into OP characters is then I'm just playing devil's advocate as a thought experiment. What annoys me is when multiclassing is when you're very high level, it's like multiclass of 3 classes, and at that point I'm like, that's you're being greedy now. Yeah, I mean,
it all comes down to why, though, isn't it? Is it that they're trying to recreate a character from pop culture that you know would be a combination of these things? Is it that they're wanting, or is it just specifically that they've worked out that if you can somehow manage to mash this class's ability with this class's ability, it allows you to roll an absurd amount of dice?
Yeah, I think
there's reasons for.
My experience is more often it's the latter rather than the former.
I think more often it is the latter, and we're always going to think of the narrative because we're
right.
Yeah. So we're not going to necessarily play that way. But I guess the argument against that is, well, nothing stops the DM from then also their BBG being like, well, actually, you know, my
actually
BBG
at CR 30 I have 20 levels in Wizard. And 5 levels in Monk.
I'm a Warforged with something or other. No. Do you know what I mean? Because
my monk also gets sneak attack.
Right.
So I don't necessarily agree, but I guess people use that as the argument of like, and that does make the
DM's
Game
job
Master's
harder.
role harder. Because it's like, especially if you're professional in that way, because it's like, oh great, now I need to, you know.
I think the other thing
my BBG the super serum and multi-class.
Right. I think my other problem as well is it feels like sometimes Wizards of the Coast haven't thought about the consequences of the multiclassing.
No.
And that feels like that's the case here. I'll be honest.
But again, it's a delicate balance of giving people what they have,
of course,
yearned for.
Wizards of the Coast not foreseeing consequences.
Right.
Don't know. Seems like a wild take, Wayne.
I know. Everybody's here for the hot takes. So how are people looking for time? Because I've got to go in about 25 minutes ish.
Yeah, I can do
that's enough for us to get through.
Because I've got the score run. But I do want to talk about the Oath of the Spell Guard Paladin because I have thoughts.
No.
As long as
we'll get through
we talk about Magic Stealer. I really want to speak about Magic Stealer.
We'll definitely if for the 2 that we don't get through today, we will definitely talk about them next week.
I want to talk about Magic Stealer.
Yeah, because the Magic Stealer looks fun. But I want to talk about the Oath of the Spell Guard Paladin. So this is your anti-wizard paladin, or your. Well, I mean, basically, the idea is that they are either the bodyguard for a wizard, or they want to destroy evil wizards. That's basically the theme.
I was just thinking this is a different version of Johan.
Yeah.
Yes. If Johan from campaign 1 of our actual play was a paladin, this would totally be his jam.
Yeah.
So level 3, when you take this subclass, you get Guardian Bond as a magic action. You can expend one of your Channel Divinity uses to forge a divine bond with a willing creature within 5 feet of yourself. The bond lasts for an hour, and until you have the unconscious condition. For the duration, while the bonded creature is within your reach and is hit by an attack roll, you can take a reaction to add your Charisma modifier to the creature's AC, possibly causing the attack to miss. You can end your divine bond at any time, no action required. If you already have a divine bond, when you forge a new one, the previous bond ends. so far so good, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to be able to. I like the theme of like protection, of being like, I'm going to use my reaction to step in the way, or whatever. Or in this case, magically bond, I suppose, to one. So you could almost like thematically like a spiritual version of me steps in the way or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad feature. I don't know how about you guys.
No, it's fine. I think I'll come back to that as there's a theme for this one that I'll be making the same point about every single one of these steps. So I'll come back to it as we've gone through them.
Sure.
I think even in other TTRPGs, if there is a mechanic that kind of, let's say, forces you to play with another character in the game, I think it's a bonus. It's always a bonus.
Agreed.
And it ends up, it's a really good way to get people who aren't used to sort of group play to get into it, because it's part of your mechanic.
Right.
And I that is a bonus that I see in this.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I mean, that first feature really like hammers home that bodyguard archetype.
Yeah.
Which I think is not a bad thing, because that is a pretty prevalent archetype within fantasy storytelling anyway.
Yes.
So nice to have something kind of codified to give you that. Yeah, but I'd agree. Like, any opportunity to force people to work together, mechanically is nice. But also at level 3, you get the Oath of the Spell Guard spells. The magic of your oath ensures you always have certain spells ready. When you reach Paladin level specified in the Oath of Spell Guard spells table, you thereafter always have the listed spells prepared. So level 3, you get Detect Magic, Shield. Level 5, you get See Invisibility and Silence. At level 9, you get Counterspell and Dispel Magic. At 13, you get Freedom of Movement and Otiluk's Resilient Sphere. Try saying that. What's drunk? 17, Circle of Power and Hallow. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is the one where I think you're gonna feel potentially slightly shortchanged playing this subclass.
Yep.
In every fight where you're not fighting a spellcaster.
Agreed.
When you're fighting thugs or monsters that don't have invisibility or don't have magic, or aren't restraining you with freedom of movement, you pretty much haven't got anything added to.
Yeah.
It feels it's a bit of a it's carving. It is a niche. Obviously, it's a niche. It's a niche subclass. It's bordering on too niche for me in terms of campaign play. Unless you're playing in a very high magic campaign where you're going to come across a lot of these guys.
I would slightly disagree.
Yeah.
Because Shield doesn't rely on it being a magical attack.
No.
Other than if it's magic missile. See Invisibility obviously is obviously niche in that regard. Although actually, I'm not sure, because it depends on the new version of See Invisibility, because of the way they use the invisible condition.
Right.
Let me see.
I mean,
that is
because basically, if you hide, you have the invisible condition. Although I suppose though, because if line of sight becomes a thing, then it's.
I suppose as a paladin, going back to the shield, as a paladin, I've never felt particularly, I wish I had the shield spell now. Because and apart from when I've forgotten to don my armor, I tend to have the AC to deal with most things.
You weren't the only one who forgot. They literally said, "I'm putting it on."
So, there's a few things. Obviously, you can see into the ethereal plane, and you can see creatures and objects that have the invisible condition. and when you hide, you're given the invisible condition. Now, obviously, line of sight is a factor, kind of, but it's not really. With the way that they've written it, I mean, the hiding rules in D&D 2024 make even less sense than the 2014 ones, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, see invisibility may, depending on how your DM rules things, may have a use. Silence, actually, I think is so not. I mean, its primary use is to stop spellcasters.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're trying to infiltrate somewhere or trying to not have a alarm raised,
yeah,
silence is clutch. And obviously, counterspell and dispel magic here particularly are. But freedom of movement, also not reliant, I would say, on facing a spellcaster. So I'd say at least half of these are not specific to being useful when dealing with spellcasters, I would say.
Fair.
Any thoughts for you, Anina?
I think the concern, if it is to just magic, might be valid. I think you'd have to play and see if you feel like you're lacking.
Yeah.
If there's enough, because paladins are still tanks. If
it's still a paladin.
if there's no, if you don't feel like you're lacking in that department dealing with non-magical creatures / enemies, could work fine. I've actually never played a paladin.
They're fun.
This is why I'm literally on this kind of a small mission of my own to go, stop just picking the one you like. Which I'm happy I did, because I adore Saga, which I thought, human fighter, that's so boring, and I adore her. So it's a good thing for me. But yeah, for years I was like the basic bitch of like, I want to be an elf mage or elf, bow ranger type person.
Yeah.
So I don't have like first-hand knowledge of playing a paladin. Now I feel like I should, but I'm not gonna lie. It, as a class, it doesn't make me want to immediately play it. And is that just because I have too much main character energy and too much? Oh, look at me!
Because this feels too sidekicky. You mean?
Yeah, is it that, and which means I need to actually play one.
Well, I think as we get further into this subclass, I think it might that perspective of it feeling sidekicky might wane a little.
No, or you know what it is? It feels too goody two shoes. I think that's what puts me off. Has put me off. Paladin.
She needs a vengeance paladin.
Yeah, they all need like a chip on their shoulder. What's a well-balanced character? As in well-balanced in mental aspects.
So, that's not all you get at level 3. You also get something else at level 3.
Yeah.
This is a very, very front-loaded subclass, which is Spell Guard Strike. So when you see a creature within your reach casting a spell with verbal, somatic, or material components, that's or, not and, or, you can take a reaction to make a melee attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike against that creature.
Is that it? Does that just mean any spell?
Yep.
Is there any spell that doesn't have
you
the
can
somatic or material?
See?
Yeah, it's within. It says within your reach. So there's a couple of things there. So in one way, it's slightly weaker than than what's given to you by the Feat Mage Slayer. Feat Mage Slayer, for comparison, is when a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature. This obviously has the thing of, if you see them using verbal or hearing somatic or material components, so like things like subtle spell, wouldn't trigger it. However, this says reach rather than 5 feet. So, for example,
so
this
if
goes
if you have pole arms, for example,
which I would say brings us back to level 3. So level 3's Guardian Bond has aspects of, you go, oh, why wouldn't I just take the protection fighting style or the interception fighting style to give a similar boon? This would free up your fighting style to allow you to take something like two-handed or polearm mass, like where you're going to, if you want to go, someone isn't sword and board that wants to use something with a bit more range, because all of a sudden if you're armed with a spear or a whip or something like that, now that's 10 to 15 feet away, someone starts casting and you go no.
This with a whip is a great call. This with a whip is a superb call.
Mage Whipper.
But yes, I mean, for the most part, pretty much. Provided you can see them using any of those components.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's pretty much any spell. You're gonna get a hit in against them potentially, but it's gonna cost you a reaction. So, yeah. I think a fairly simple one. I don't have much in the way of thoughts on that one.
They seem to give you a nice bunch. I think they've realised that, like we say, with some of the things being a little more scenario specific, but they've given you all of them at level 3. There you go. Here's a bunch of toys.
Yeah. So level 7, your aura of protection, this is called Aura of Concentration. Your aura of protection fosters mental focus. You and your allies have advantage on Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration while in your aura of protection.
Wizard bodyguard, man.
Yeah.
Got the cleric and the wizard next to you, just keeping things going.
How do you feel about this one?
I think it's a nice little extra, but I mean, I'd have to compare it to what some of the other paladin subclasses auras give them as a bonus, because I know there are some really powerful. Ones. I think, again, if it suits the campaign, if you have a wizard in your party who you're protecting, if your party are doing a lot of concentration spells, if you've got ranger if you've got a ranger in your party, if you've got a bard, a cleric that's doing these things, it could be really, really useful. It could be the thing that keeps you in the fight, or it might not affect anything because you're up in the front line doing that is you and your allies as well, so it would have to look at what concentration spells are you holding up.
How do you feel, Anina?
For someone who's not played at Paladin, how big is Aura of Concentration?
It's 30 feet, I think. It's
30.
Across, yeah.
That is.
Was it 10?
I'm level.
Or maybe it goes up as you go up in level, actually. Oh, actually, I'm not. I might be.
I'm on it.
I feel like that sounds very, very powerful. For the player, great. I'm thinking
10-foot emanation, so 20 foot across.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, because if it was 30 foot, I'm thinking, is that too big of a buff for level 7?
Right. This is where I fall.
I'm like, I like it as an ability. Yes, is level 7 too soon?
It does also. So the Aura of Protection as standard gives you a bonus to your saving throws equal to your charisma modifier, which, let's say that's probably going to be about +3.
Yeah.
On there.
So you have that plus advantage.
So someone's concentration check is going to be an extra +3 and an advantage. It's basically
statistically
going.
It's plus 8.
Yeah. We're gonna be holding on to concentration pretty
yeah, that is
from my perspective,
great from a player perspective, but is it too game breaking?
Yeah, from my perspective as a DM, this is too strong.
Yeah, is it
breaking concentration is difficult enough already. Particularly,
but moving on.
I mean, maybe not at level 7. It's not too difficult.
But
which might be the counter argument. At level 7, it's not too hard to break concentration. But when this moves up to kind of plus 10 in level, suddenly
I
concentration
feel
becomes
like
quite tricky.
one of my long-term characters is a bard, and we're level 10. Loads of fun, but again, something like I love polymorph. Losing concentration is a real thing. Like, it happens a lot because, again, as soon as you're hit, in polymorph, things like that. So I do think, especially bards struggle because, again, I'm gonna get that one chance at one, or maybe is it one or two? Few chances at polymorph. Get out of a big old fight.
Yeah. This is one of those things that I think at the level that it comes in at, it's fine. But if you play a high-level campaign, this is going to feel broken as fuck.
And if you have a lot of spellcasters in your party,
which if you're playing
just have a
this,
nice little, have a nice little
choose
bubble.
this for the right campaign.
You can have a nice formation.
This would be dreadful in our campaign.
Yeah.
Where are the wizards?
It's like, oh, you just seem extra shiny today.
Looking at it as well, compared to some of the, I've just glanced at some of the other oaths, Oath of Devotion, Oath of Glory, Oath of Ancients. You're gonna run into more uses for it. It's gonna get used more than those. So, Oath of Glory gives 10-foot extra movement to someone entering the space in the first time.
Right.
I think Oath of the Ancients gives them resistance to Radiant and Necrotic. Really not things that you're going to run into a lot. Whereas this is going to be your go-to tactic with make sure the wizard is within 10 feet of the paladin at all times.
Which I suppose you could argue is the cost.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to stay. But then also, on the flip side, I suppose the point is it's actually more of a cost to the paladin than it is the spellcaster. I was thinking about it, because it means the paladin can't go in and beat the shit out of people. They have to stay within to get the full benefits of this. They have to stay close to the artillery at the back, which is what your spellcasters.
I'm just picturing a Goliath, a Goliath paladin with just a nice little shoulder mount for a halfling wizard to sit on.
Yes.
Sort of Master Blaster situation where he's just sort of running.
I don't know if I would ever allow such a thing, given how broken this is already. No, it's not that broken. It's not that bad, but I can see a lot of situations where this will cause problems.
It's situationally, for the situation that you would take this, it's incredibly powerful.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost too powerful for what it's built for, and not powerful enough for what it's not built for. And you kind of need it the other way round a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's unbalanced in that sense. Because if you are in a campaign when you're facing the Red Wizards of Thay and Saz-Tam is your big bad, the campaign's already in trouble. Anywho, level 15.
Yeah. To add to this, it is level 15. It is level 15.
It is level 15, yes. But again, I'm thinking about what a high level D&D game usually turns into, and this is where I have problems.
This is Saruman and Gandalf in the tower.
So at level 15 you get Spell Breaking Blade immediately after you hit a creature with your Spell Guard strike. So you see somebody casting a spell, I hit them. You do have to hit them though. That's the crucial part. Then you can cast Counterspell as part of that same reaction. So you hit them and then counter the spell that they're using. When you cast Counterspell with a spell slot, that slot isn't expended if the spell fails to stop a spell, which is fairly standard these days for a lot of these sorts of things. But what do we feel?
I think it's thematic. It's nice. I like that it's not that they've just given them counterspell as a thing. Like it is a part of they hit them so hard that they stop focus. They just cancel out the thing. I think that works. That works nicely.
But against a paladin, is a spellcaster likely to be able to defend against a paladin's sword swing?
At level 50, if we were doing a high level campaign, they might well be. They may. They may have shield.
Yes. I mean, it's possible. It's certainly possible. Is it likely though?
No, they're likely getting a hit in, aren't they?
Yeah.
No. Well, also, even if they fail, as we see when you cast counterspell with the spell slot, that slot isn't expended if the spell fails to stop a spell. One thing that's worth noting is that second section isn't just attached to when you're doing it as part of Spell Guard Strike. That includes when you're just casting counterspell.
That's right.
It says when you cast counterspell with a spell slot. So you suddenly become the go-to counter speller for the every time someone's casting a spell. You'd be like, well, if it fails, I don't lose the slot. Because counterspell needed to become more powerful, didn't it?
Well, I mean, they have nerfed counterspell a little bit in 2024, to be fair.
So they're just giving it a little boost in this instance.
This is not the boost that counterspell needs, in my view. But I mean, look, it's again, it's a bit situational. I worry that this is very powerful in the wrong situation. And well, let's look at level 20 as well, and then we'll do overall thoughts, I think. So level 20, so this is Capstone ability, Eternal Spell Guard. As a bonus action, you can empower your Aura of Protection, granting the benefit below, being the Aura of Concentration, for 1 minute or until you end them. No action required. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can restore your use of this ability by expending a level 5 spell slots. Oh, these are the benefits. So you can bodyguard. So while the target of your guardian bond is in the aura, that creature has resistance to all damage. Protection from magic. You and your allies in the aura have advantage on saving throws against spells. Or Spell Ward. Spell attack rolls against you and your allies in the aura have disadvantage.
It's just screw you, Vecna. It's just no.
That is exactly where my head went where I first saw this subclass.
Your big bad better be just a giant fist.
Yeah.
Because...
Right. I know.
I think 5 for level 20. Level 20. That's fine.
Yes, it's
because I mean, everyone knows playing level 20 is actually really, really rare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really rare.
We've only gone up to 18, and that was for the final battle.
I don't think it justifies Wizards of the Coast's lack of attention to it, though.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because as somebody who is running a level 20 game at the moment, running Vecna Eve of Ruin, the game is already busted at that level.
Yeah.
Without you adding more bust to the bust.
Yeah. This is all caution to the wind, kind of.
Although that being said, I don't think this particular feature is a problem.
No. And it only says a minute to be fair.
Which is basically a combat, an encounter.
But is it a level 20 combat? I have a feeling if it was level 20, it could actually go on.
I mean, it's still 10 rounds. I mean, yeah, it could go on for longer. That's true.
At which point they just burn a level 5 spell slot for no action and do it again. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, you can only use it once.
Yeah, no, but then you can restore the use of ability by expending a level 5 slot, and then a bonus action, and it's straight back up again.
Okay, yeah. I have issue then with you can restore bit. I have issue with that sentence in that.
It should feel like a special moment that you're doing.
Yeah, I think so. This should be if you get to this point and are using it. This is a once per day deal. Once per long rest deal.
Levels 5 spell slots does a paladin?
Yeah, I think that last sentence in the
a paladin only has 2 level 5 spell slots at level 20. So I mean, that's quite a high cost.
It is, yeah.
Using the top spell slot. My problem, my problem, and maybe this is kind of going to lead into general thoughts as well. My problem isn't necessarily with this ability itself. It's very powerful, but it should be. It's your capstone ability.
Yeah,
it should be
absolutely.
powerful. My problem is it's the sum of all of the parts with this subclass that I struggle with. Because it's very specific anti-mage, which itself is not a problem. The problem I have is that once you get to a certain point in the game, spells are the means for which to challenge the party.
That's true.
Because most monsters that don't have access to magic are either not high challenge rating enough, or really don't actually hit very hard. To challenge spellcasters who, at late stage game by level like 17, have got access to things like Banish. Wish, Divine Intervention, things like that. Certainly at level 20, you can guarantee Divine Intervention every day and things like that. So it's already hard enough to challenge high-level parties with magic.
Yeah.
So to then shut down the magic...
I think one of the, not problems, but the challenges with this from a Dungeon Master's perspective is that this potentially affects your decision making on what you're going to throw at the party based on one of the party. And there are some other
and that party member not being a wizard.
Yeah,
because normally it's the wizard that you go.
Yeah, exactly.
What can the wizard
do? There are other classes and subclasses that have that kind of level of power where it fundamentally affects your decision of what monsters, what creatures what challenges that they're gonna face, because they nullify certain aspects. I think you're gonna have an issue here of you're not gonna want to throw big spellcasters at the party because they're going to be ineffective and it's going to feel like a walkover. But then you're also going to have the fact that if you're not doing that player is going to feel like they're not really enjoying their character as much. In the same way that you'll have if you've got a high level open palm monk in a party, you're less likely to throw a single big monster at the party because it's going to spend most of its time being stunned.
Right.
The same way in this, you're going to be there going, I'm going to have to put in a wizard, but then I'm going to have to put something else in as well to make sure that this is being done. And it could, with the combination of certain other classes and subclasses, lead to just being an absolute nightmare to try and give a fun challenge.
Yeah.
To the party, and when you're just rolling at disadvantage for stuff, they're getting extra this, extra that.
And that's my issue with things being broken. I don't care about things being broken so that I can kill the party.
Yeah.
But I want them to at least feel like they might get killed.
Yes, yeah.
And
peril.
Right, and when it becomes very, very difficult to create even a set-piece encounter that feels challenging. I love throwing encounters at my party that is like, this is going to be a cakewalk for you. Obliterate them.
Oh, yeah.
Do it. I love that because they get their moment
Flex.
of like, oh, yeah, I'm really freaking powerful. But on the flip side, I also need to be able to do the opposite. As a DM. And that's where I do get a little bit bent out of shape when things are just OP. Because it's like, I don't feel like I can even threaten them. And that becomes, to me, a bit of a problem. Particularly when, like, sometimes, I've had cases where the stat blocks of the big bad evil people do not hold up to the narrative said big bad evil people when put up against a level 20 party, or even a level 18 party or 15 party. It's like, yeah, we had to lock this person away for eons because they were such a threat to gods, and then this level 17 party walks up and they're like 2 rounds in, it's over. It's like, oh. And that's from an officially published stat block, by the way. It's like, ooh. And this feels, that paladin, the Oath of the Spell Guard Paladin, feels a little bit too too much like they could shut those sorts of things down far too easily.
I feel like it's got that thing where if you combine it with some other, like a Twilight Domain cleric, or a few, you can end up with essentially building a tank that your party walk around in combat. And it's, I mean, for some people maybe that's the fun challenge, and you will have people that will go, I want to take this for this reason, because I really want to challenge my TM into this sort of thing.
Which is fine in the right circumstances.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. I feel like there are too many situations where that subclass is going to feel way out of sync.
And not even necessarily a super fun way, because a lot of the things that it has are very passive.
Yes.
They're very much, we get extra of this and you're struggling to do this.
Yes.
It is a class that says no.
Yeah.
Yes. Which
Subclass that says no.
It's fun for the players, but not fun for the DM. And the DM should be having fun too.
Yeah, fun. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go in a minute, but have you got any final thoughts, Anina?
Yeah. Just what I've said previously. It does sound like a lot of fun, and I do like the fact it's a very active support class.
Yeah.
I think that's something that enhances gameplay always, is if it's within your mechanics to, guard other, I think the guarding aspect actually maybe even works better than like the buffing aspects of the bard.
Yeah.
I think the guarding ones somehow seem more active.
Yes.
In a way, and more group cohesion boosting in a way, because bards are very much like inspiration and now I go do my own thing. Yeah. Nothing bad with that. Love a bard, but see what I mean? It's kind of like, here you go, I'm going to do my own thing now. So I like that.
This guy's a very much more to me kind of like the guy holding the banner that you're fighting around, which is very cool.
Yeah, it does. This would be an interesting class to play. I have the same slight reservations of, is it too powerful? But again, also you'd have to see what the other new subclasses are, because if everyone's powerful, fair enough.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, does it balance out?
Yeah.
Across the subclasses, or do we have one that's like, I'm just here, I'm just happy to be involved, can't really do anything.
I'm just here for the fun.
I'm
just here to have a good time. But that I think is a level 20 spell. I get that, but I would edit out in the Eternal Spell Guard that you can restore your use of this ability. I think that's like, it's like, that's already such a huge ability. This is in combination with everything else,
in combination, this is already that dramatic moment of like, no, I shall save you. Lens flare. Do we need to have it? Do we need to have it twice?
Right. Yeah.
I think one thing I will say, that because we talked earlier about the monk subclass requiring you to be able to deal with a bit of a crunchier class in terms of having more information. The Oath of the Spell Guard Paladin requires the player themselves to have an aura of concentration, because this is a class that reacts to what is going on at the table.
You can't be unengaged.
You cannot look down at your phone while you're playing, because you will miss that. Oh, so and so has disadvantage against it, or you can use your reaction to get into there. This is someone it will reward you for being engaged at the table.
Yeah. Completely.
Because you have to be able to play to utilize this class, which I'm happy rewarding that, to be honest.
You know it's gonna this is a subclass that's gonna devolve into. Okay, is that your go? Oh no, sorry, you missed it. Never mind, too late.
Yeah.
That's a shame, yeah.
It's not my fault if you did not react.
Fun times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really am going to have to go in a moment.
Yes.
But this has been fun. I've had a lot of fun.
But yes, we must talk about the rogue one.
Oh, we will definitely we will cover the other two next week for sure, unless some other unexpected news drops, which it might, because we are anticipating a D&D roadmap for 2026, which they've still not announced what products are coming out this year. So maybe something might drop. But provided nothing does, then we'll definitely cover both of them next week and see what goodies they have. But the Spell Stealer Rogue is fun. Spoiler alert.
I have thoughts.
Yes. Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you for everybody that has joined us live for this unexpected new show that we've launched today. Yes, if you are new here, do make sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button as well. We have actual plays every Thursday coming out, our main show, which is Bardic Quest, coming out every Thursday night. We ourselves are filming our next session this evening, aren't we? So
we are, yes. See you in a few hours.
Wednesdays have become Bardic Quest Day for all three of us. Fun times. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone, and we will catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.